Well, greetings today. Welcome to Cloud Academy's Skill Intelligence Platform webinar. My name is Ted McCleary, and I'm going to be walking you through the end user experience of Cloud Academy. Today's webinar is being recorded and will be shared with you after it becomes available. Also, we will be hosting a Q&A session at the end. So if there are any questions, feel free to submit them inside of the chat. One thing I want to point out is as we get closer to the new year, Cloud Academy is running a $100 discount on individual subscriptions. So if you'd like to embark on some learning in 2022, feel free to go to our website and check out the discount. All right, so as I mentioned, today's webinar is strictly focused on the end user experience of Cloud Academy Skill Intelligence application. The first thing I want to showcase as I log in as an end user is we're greeted by our dashboard. The dashboard is really an area that is tailored to you, the user. So upon logging in, I can essentially go and do a lot of different things as it pertains to my knowledge or skill increase that I'm looking to attain through training. The first thing you'll see is I can go straight to any courses that I've either assigned to myself or have been assigned by a manager. So I can go right into this full stack developer AWS starter that I've been working on. I also have some recommendations for top picks based on the classes that I've been embarking on inside of Cloud Academy. We also give you the ability to see our content roadmap. So letting users know what's come out from a content perspective in the past few weeks or months. And based on what you've studied inside of Cloud Academy, giving you recommendations for items that may be of interest. I can simply go and take a look at those using these three little tabs under the courses. The next thing I'll point out is we have a weekly goal that you can set for yourself. A lot of times people want to come in, set a certain amount of days based on the amount of time that they have to train inside of Cloud Academy. Super easy to edit. Right now I've got 4 days. I can pick it all the way up to 7 days if I want. Simply come in, click it, update your goal, and now we have 3 days that we'd like to complete inside of Cloud Academy per week. Another feature of the end user experience is being able to upload specific certifications that you've either attained in the past or have just attained here in the present. We've got a lot of different certificates that you can upload, all for cloud providers, Alibaba, AWS, GCP, and Microsoft. But we also give you the opportunity to upload any other certifications that you might have. Going back to the dashboard, another aspect of it is your own specific setup of the profile. Here you can download our iOS or Android app. So if you're someone that likes to learn on the go, you can check that out as well. So moving past the dashboard, and I'll come back here in a second to show you one more thing. We also have a tab titled My Training. And this is a more bird's eye or holistic view of the actual training courses that you are currently a part of or are taking. So I can see all the completions that I've had for a particular course. Again, this full stack developer AWS starter. I can see my progress throughout the weeks with a due date in mind, how far behind I am, which in this case I am 8 days behind. And also see all of my average assessment scores for this particular course. But I can also see some of the other courses that I'm now in this view as well. You also notice on the right side of the class, we have a training plan leaderboard. And this simply gives you an idea of where you sit from a completion standpoint of the course compared to your peers. So if you're inside of Cloud Academy working with a particular team, that will be showcased to you on the right-hand side of the screen. The other aspect we have inside of the end user experience is the My Activities board. So the My Activities is an area where you can come in and see all of the completed content that you've done while using the platform. And it is categorized by all the activities that an end user goes through. So whether that's hands-on labs that you've created, you've completed, quizzes, exams, courses, or resources that you've checked out, all of it lives in one specific area so that you can come back and review and take a look at those areas. The last part is the My Bookmarks. So any piece of our content, you will see that there is this bookmark icon. Simply bookmark any piece of the content that you'd like to reference inside of your My Bookmark section, and feel free to come back as you'll have it all categorized here when you return. All right, so the one thing I wanted to cover before I go into another area of the platform is if you click on this icon here on the right side of your dashboard, you're going to be taken into your own skill profile. And what a skill profile is an accumulation of all the skills that you've developed through our hands-on labs, our quizzes, and exams. So we have skill profiles broken out by platform, domain, and concept. And the nice thing about this is you can actually drill down into various topics of your skill profile. Excuse me. And what it allows you to do is see the areas that you have accumulated skills in. So for example, if I wanted to check out how advanced I was in security for Azure, I could get a very nice skill growth rate based on, again, the hands-on labs, the quizzes, and the exams that I've completed, showing me that rate of growth over time. Another area that is very nice for students is this improve your score. So if there's an area that maybe you want to upskill in, maybe there's an area that you want to learn more about, this is a very nice way to get that validation that you either, number one, know those skills, or number two, grow those skills. The other nice thing about the skill profiles, if maybe there's an area that you have never embarked on before, an area of training. So you can browse or prove your skills in specific sections to, again, increase that skill level competency around that particular topic or domain platform. The last thing I'll point out is that there is a leaderboard inside of your skill profile. It gives you actually the top 10 users inside of your organization as it relates to the skills that are attained for a particular topic, this one being Microsoft Azure. So a little bit of gamification there when we talk about some competition to increase skills to become the top leader or attain those skills to become that leader inside of your skill profile. All right. So we touched on the dashboard, we touched on my training, we touched on the activities, uploading certificates, skill profiles, setting a weekly goal for yourself inside of Cloud Academy to harness those skills and improve over time. Let's talk a little bit about search capabilities of the platform. So right here inside of your profile, we have a search our library function. So we can search any topic that we'd like to check out. So for my example, I'm going to look up AWS, and all of the courses or content that it pertains to that particular search pops up. So again, the search bar is a great way to simply search a particular topic, a particular platform, subject, you name it, it can pop up. So again, really easy to find something that you'd like to just quickly jump into as you're inside of your profile. All right, so I'm going to go into Cloud Academy's library. One thing I want to point out is that our content library is public facing. So if you're ever interested in checking out some of the courses that we have, feel free to go to our website and browse them as you will. Let this load up for a second. I'm going to talk about some of the ways that we categorize content inside of the library. Give it a sec. I also wanted to point out again the mobile device. Cloud Academy's put a lot of work into developing our mobile device, and a lot of the functionality that I just showed inside of the end user experience remains true even for the mobile app. So whether you're looking for an experience online, on your desktop, or on the mobile app, both equally as good and as effective for training. Okay, so letting my library load up here, it's taking me a second. It's Monday. Let's try this again. I'm just going to go to Amazon Web Services. Give it a sec. Again, it's Monday. I know everybody's moving a little slower today.
By the way, as we wait for the page to load, just a reminder that if you have any questions for Ted, you can use the chat box and add them in there. We'll tackle them during the final Q&A.
Thank you, Francesca. All right, so we finally loaded up. Sorry about that, everyone. One of the things I wanted to point out is that the library is categorized by all three of the major cloud platforms. So you can see Amazon Web Services, what I searched here in the library when I first came in. We also have content around Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, even Alibaba is something we're looking to explore more of. But then we have a whole bunch of other topics inside of the library, things like DevOps, containers, cloud migration, big data, AI, ML, data science topics, if you will. So again, feel free to come into our website, search whatever topics you'd like to check out all the content that we have. The other thing I want to point out is this area titled job roles. One of the things we're working on and exploring more of is this concept of taking someone from beginning to end for a particular job role. Right now we have 5 of them. You can see here on the left side of the screen. But in fiscal year 2022, we are going to roll out many more. So if you're someone that is looking for that promotion, or you're someone that is looking for or trying to attain a specific job that relates to emerging tech or cloud technology, feel free to come in, check out our job roles, and be on the lookout for those to be updated again in fiscal year 2022. All right, so let's take a look at what the content actually looks like, or how it is presented inside of Cloud Academy once a user embarks on a particular learning path. So I'm going to just pick out the AWS Solutions Architect Associate Certification Prep. Really popular course here at Cloud Academy, if not one of our most popular. So I just clicked on the actual content itself being taken into the course. Content is structured in pretty much an identical format throughout all of our courses. And what I mean by that is we prescribe to a learn, do, validate model. So typically a student will go through a lecture, will then be asked to prove that he or she understood that lecture through either a hands-on lab, a quiz, or an exam. And again, that's structured throughout the entire learning path library or content library when the student embarks on a particular course. When I get inside of this course, as you can see, I can scroll through all of the training content just to get a better idea of how the structure is set up Maybe there's some things I want to jump right into. For example, if I'm somebody that's used AWS for quite a long time and I just want to skip right to the exam to really test out my knowledge, I can do that. So I'm gonna just jump right into one of our hands-on labs to show you what that looks like. And actually, before I do that, it's important to also note that on the left-hand side of the screen here, this little tab that says Learning Path, I can actually go and check out all of the areas that I've completed up to this point. The other nice thing I want to point out is that all of our content is consumed or can be consumed in bit-sized chunks. So what I mean by that is, this course here, it's around 30 hours. We understand that not everyone is going to have 30 hours to sit there and take one course. So our content is developed again in bit-sized chunks. You can come in, take a little bit of the course, consume that content, do a hands-on lab, leave the course, come back at another time, and again, pick up where you left off. So, okay. So Cloud Academy has a few different labs. The lab that I'm showing here on my screen is what we call a guided lab. And what it does is it walks students, guide students from point A to point B with steps included, visual steps included. The other lab we have is a challenge lab, which takes away the guidance or walkthrough for the end user. The third lab we have is an open lab playground where an individual can come in, go inside of an Azure, Google, or AWS sandbox environment and really test out those cloud level practitioner skills, or just come in and test out things they've learned or things they're interested in trying out inside of an open sandbox environment. So I'm going to continue this lab. And I'm going to open up this environment. One thing to note is that Cloud Academy does manage and provision all of the accounts inside of Cloud Academy, so there's no need for you to use any of your personal information. We take care of all that setup and management on the back end. Just get this password. Oh, I know why. Give me a second. Yeah. Oh gosh. Really tough on Monday here for me. Yeah. Get my password. Hopefully this works for us, folks. I have to try a different lab here. Try it one more time. I'm gonna go back and try a different lab, maybe one I haven't started. Okay. Gotta open up the environment. Okay. My credentials. I'm going to copy by name. My password. There we go. All right, so when I do these labs, I like to go split screen. So I like to take the console over here. And the nice thing about our labs, like I said, is that this console over here is actually talking to the AWS console. So we bridge the gap between what you see on the left-hand side of my screen and what you're doing inside of the AWS environment. What's also nice is that as you go through this guided walkthrough for the lab, we have built-in validation checks. So all the work that I'm doing over here inside of this lab environment is going to be validated by Cloud Academy here on the left. So this is our first validation check right here on the left-hand side. So if I start this check, obviously it's going to pop back that I didn't complete the steps correctly. You can see it turns red because I didn't. So very nice when we talk about being able to get that immediate feedback from going through the lab. The other thing that's very cool about the way our labs work is you can see down here this Amazon Elastic File System, EFS. These validation checks are feeding directly into your skill profiles. So I showed that on the first half of this webinar, the ability to see your skill growth in various domains, platforms, concepts. These validation checks, if you get them right or wrong, are affecting that growth inside of that skill profile. So again, something to keep in mind that not only are we doing the validation checks to give end users the ability to see if they did or did not do something right, but also giving you that peace of mind that you're growing your skills and able to see those skills based on the skill profiles and the activities that you're completing. All right. So let's end this lab. The last thing I want to show you is our exams. Show you some of the feedback that our exams provide when students embark on a learning path. And I'm just going to go all the way to the bottom. As I mentioned, typically all of our learning paths that students take have some sort of final exam or quiz at the end to give students that baseline competency or recognition of taking the actual course itself. So this is our final exam for this particular learning path. You can see that we simulate these very similar to how an actual AWS exam would be administered by Amazon Web Services. So if I start this exam, I'm going to be taken directly into the question sets themselves. One important thing to note about our exams is that typically, if you are someone that is going to take an exam, we recommend that you take at least 3 practice exams and score 72% or higher. That's typically the success rate that we've seen when individuals do use Cloud Academy to prepare for those exams. 72 or higher, 3 times or more. The nice thing too about when you do take a quiz or exam multiple times, we're pulling from a large set of questions. So when you come in, the question sets are going to be completely different every time you take the exam itself. So I'm just going to input a little bit of data into this exam because I want everybody to see the output from an exam and the feedback that students receive once they've completed it. So I'm just going to answer maybe 1 or 2 more. The other thing I'll mention too is that Cloud Academy does use item response theory inside of these exams. And what that means is as you answer questions and either get them wrong, the difficulty level then does continue on in a path in a manner that it's either easier question sets or harder question sets as you get them right. So kind of a neat feature of the system, giving you harder questions as you get them right or decreasing the level of difficulty as you get them wrong. And I'm going to submit this exam. I think that's enough questions answered. And again, my main purpose of showing this is the output that students receive after going through these exams. Lots of good stuff to take away from. So I failed, not surprisingly, I skipped a lot of them. But again, after the exam is completed, again, going back to that skill profile, showing the student exactly what was covered inside of the exam question sets, how it affected their overall skill profile. These are the scores that you're seeing here, -11, 14, etc. Giving students the opportunity to improve those scores inside of their profiles. And then lastly, coming down here and showing some of the areas that were covered again and the answers that the student went through. We do show you all of the questions that you either got wrong, correct, or skipped. I obviously didn't get any right, so I don't have anything that I can check out on that side of the exam. But again, we do show you all that you got wrong and skipped. So explanations to questions that you got right or wrong, actually show you the right answer that you didn't get, etc. So really nice if you want to go out, check out the official documents from Amazon or Azure or Google Cloud as you take these cloud certification preps to get that really good feedback from those exams. All right, so that is it for the end user webinar. Before I say goodbye, Francesca, are there any questions?
Yes, we do have a couple of questions, and I know that some of these you've already answered throughout the demo, but as a couple of people joined us halfway through, I think it's best to, and it's always helpful to rehash certain features or concepts. So here we go. First question is, does Cloud Academy run its learning management system on AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we do run it on Amazon Web Services.
Perfect. Will the platform suggest what to learn next?
Yes, it will. Let me show you that. That was something I covered in the very beginning of the webinar. So here's my dashboard. This is what I see right when I come in or log into Cloud Academy. Let me get those out of the way. So when I come in and get into my dashboard, you can see there's this top picks section. So this is one way that we recommend specific content for you as you begin to take courses or as you begin to check out the library. So we also have another area, gives you recommendations based on, again, some of the labs you've gone through, letting you know that there's other labs that you might want to check out to get some of those cloud level practitioner skills enhanced. The other thing I will say is that when you log into Cloud Academy for the first time, you are going to set up your profile. And part of setting up the profile is asking you some questions around your goals and objectives. So whether you're someone that is looking to attain certification to a specific cloud provider, or if you're someone that is looking to embark on a specific job role, we also ask you some questions around that so that the system begins to develop a profile or content profile for you to make it really easy to just jump right into that particular goal that you're looking to attain.
Perfect. And one last one, where can I see a list of all the new content that has been released?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if you go to our website, and actually I'll just go there right now. So you go to www.cloudacademy.com. There's an area of our website, it's called the training library, and underneath of it you will see there's a section titled upcoming training and explore our training roadmap. It's here that you can see all the content that we've released in the last 90 days. You can also see content that is coming soon. So public facing, feel free to go to the website. Like I said, go to the website, training, browse library, upcoming training, explore training roadmap.
Perfect. I don't see any more questions, so over to you, Ted.
All right. Well, thanks for the questions, everybody, and thanks for joining today. Really appreciate your time. Final two things. Be on the lookout for the recording of this webinar. Be sent out to you as soon as it becomes available. And then we also ask kindly that you fill out the end of webinar survey. We appreciate your feedback. It's very important to us to make these webinars even more impactful and helpful as we move forward. So with that, I appreciate everyone's time. Have a great rest of your week and take care.